Hey everyone, back today. We're going to make a chicken broccoli orzo cheddar skillet. It probably could have a better name than that, but that's what I'm going with. So I'm going to start. I diced up 3 chicken breasts, and they were pretty large chicken breasts, so you might need 4 if you have smaller ones. And I have some avocado oil heating in my pan here. It's on medium high. We're going to dump these guys in. Doing this one-handed today, so just bear with me. There we go. Now I'm going to get my spatula here and just spread this out. And then you're going to want to let them sit for probably 3 minutes till they build up a nice crust on that other side. You're really looking more to sear these than cook them, because they're going to keep cooking as you cook everything else. So, let them stretch out in my pan here. I'm not going to season them just yet. I don't want any of my seasonings to potentially burn. So, we're going to let that cook for a bit, and then we'll be back. Alright, so these have been cooking for 4 minutes on the one side. Flipped them over. Gonna give them another couple minutes here. But I'm gonna go ahead and add my seasonings. So I have half a teaspoon of salt, half a teaspoon of black pepper, half a teaspoon of onion powder, and half a teaspoon of garlic powder. And then I also have 2 teaspoons of minced garlic. Okay, and we'll give that a stir, and I'm going to give that another probably 2 minutes to finish up, and then I'm going to take this chicken out and put it in the plate and continue on with the rest of the recipe. So I've removed the chicken. I'm going to let that rest for a bit because I don't want to overcook my chicken. And to my pan, which still had the chicken drippings and some of the oil still in there, I added one of these. I don't know how many ounces because I cut it off, but one of these bags of chopped broccoli. Looks like probably about 3.5, 4 cups of chopped broccoli, and a cup of diced onions. Those are the onions I still have in my freezer. And I'm going to give these a stir and let them cook. Still have my pan on medium high. And I want to let this cook until everything gets dry. So you see how much liquid is in there right now? I want to cook this until all of the water from them being frozen has been cooked off, and then I'll add a little oil and actually saute them. So it's important to give them time to get that water off first. So as you can probably hear, my skillet has gotten significantly louder because that water is gone, and now everything is actually sauteing. So what I'm going to do at this stage is I'm going to add in 1 cup of dry orzo, and I'm going to let that toast for about a minute, and I'm going to stay here and continuously stir it for about a minute, and then I'm going to add my liquid. I gave that a quick stir around in the pan and let everything get nice and toasty. You'll see that orzo now has a yellow-orange color to it where it's been toasted. I added 3 cups of chicken broth and made sure to deglaze the pan really well. Dropped my temperature down to low, and now I'm going to cover this up and let it very lightly simmer for the next 8 minutes. But I'm going to come back and stir periodically throughout that because you don't want your pasta to stick. I've diced up my cheese. This is 1 whole 8-ounce block of mild cheddar that I just chopped up. You can shred it. You can use pre-shredded cheese. You can use any flavor of cheese that you like. This is just what I like to do. I don't like shredding cheese myself. So I just chop it and it's going to melt and be perfect. And then I'm also going to add 1 cup of sour cream. Now I'm going to wait until my pasta is completely done and I've added my chicken back in and my cheese has melted before I add my sour cream, because I don't want to add my sour cream when everything is super hot. But I'll be back and show you how I'm going to do that. That's my 8 minutes up, and you can see the pasta has plumped up. There's still a little bit of liquid left in the pan, so I'm going to go ahead and add my cheese so it can be melting because I don't want to overcook my pasta. Get my cheese in here, get it mixed in, and then I'm also going to add my chicken back in as well. So just break those up, let them get to melting. We'll add our chicken back in, like so. And I'm going to give this a good mix and then put the lid back on it. It's still on low, and I'm going to let it sit for about 2 minutes so that everything just gets warmed up. Now everything has melted nicely. I've given it a good stir to make sure all of those chunks of cheese are mixed in. I've turned my heat off, and now I'm going to add 1 cup of sour cream, which is going to be eyeballed because that's how I do things. It'd be easier if I had you on a stand, but I don't have one that works at the moment. So, there's our 1 cup of sour cream. I'm going to mix this in. And then I'm going to put the top back on this and let it sit off the heat for 2 to 3 minutes, just to let everything kind of meld together. And then we'll be ready to plate. Alright, so here's how I would plate this up. Got my bowl here. And if you like more broccoli, by all means add more broccoli to this. I'm making this for a household that some love broccoli, some don't. So to appease everyone, this is how I make it. So that's in my bowl, and then the next thing I like to do is I've crushed up some Ritz crackers or butter crackers, and I like to just sprinkle them on top so you get a little salty crunch. Some people like to mix some butter with these crackers, put them on top, and then throw it in the oven. But for me, I know we're going to have leftovers of this, and those crackers just get soggy when you do it that way as leftovers. So I like to just keep them separate and be able to sprinkle them on when I want them. But yeah, so there is our chicken broccoli rice orzo dish. I hope you'll give it a try and let me know what you think.